we had a conversation with a friend, a colleague, a medical doctor, my husband's colleague, and he had purchased houses and apartments with 3 or 4 different organization companies. And so we were having a discussion, asking him how he found them, how each of them performed from his own estimates. And he told us that, well, of the 3 or 4 that he had, I think it was 4, Signum stood out. Signum stood out with the payment plan. Signum stood out with the quality. So that's another thing that I forgot to mention, the quality. So, you know, there's a building and there's a building. You know, you enter a building and you see the quality of the doors, the walls, the finishing. You want a fine finish. You want something that, yes, it may not necessarily be too expensive, but the quality is what matters. And that I saw when we went to Signum. We had a chat with them. They took us around to their different showrooms. We realized that they had that quality that we wanted, that final finish that we wanted. So yeah, basically the colleague, the friend, introduced us to Signum. He said, oh, he's going to call, he knows the head, the CEO. He's going to call him and let him know that we are coming. We called the office. We made an appointment with, I think it was Blessing initially. And then the first conversation, like I said, their customer service is really good. And so she drew us in and didn't let us go after that. You know, kept calling us, allaying our fears, answering all the questions that we had. And yes, that is how the journey began. Actually, so that consisted about maybe 60 to 70% of the decision. The pricing, because then it's in installments, it's over a period of time. Of course, you need to find money for the initial deposit, but the payments makes it more, there's wiggle room, you know. And even sometimes when you are late in payment, you can just have a chat with them and say that I know I'm supposed to pay at this point in time, but can you give me maybe a month or 2 to finish it up, get my acts together and come and make the deposit. So there was that personal relationship with Signum that I really value. I don't think a lot of the other companies have that. And that's one of the key things that we really valued with Signum. Yeah. Reliable. The process with them was rather seamless compared to other companies that we've previously engaged with. I like the way they handle their clients, their client service, if I should say, customer service. I think is really good, and I think that they're quite professional. According to, if you're comparing it to the standards we see these days in Ghana, they're actually very professional. So for us, it was a no-brainer to go with Signum, and we are happy that we did. We haven't regretted it. On the whole, it's been a wonderful experience. That doesn't mean we didn't have challenges. We did have challenges, but the important thing is how you thrash out the issues, how you iron it out. That's why I said for me, is the client service, the customer service, the relationship that makes it worth the while. So give Signum a call. Dream it, own it.